So as we have started here with the instrumentation of gas chromatography. Instrumentation part starts from the carrier gas, different flow regulators, injector system for the injection of samples, column, detectors, and the data analysis. So very important. Again, I am repeating the same thing that is very important for volatile as well as the gaseous samples. Starting with the carrier gas, again the different carrier gas, the gaseous materials are available as a flow, as a carry the solutes, the sample throughout the column. What are the ideal requirements of the carrier gas? That is inertness suitable for the detector system that should be get detected very easily, high purity, easily availability, cheap, should not cause the risk of fire or any hazard, and should give the best column performance. Should give the best column performance. So next to this, different types of the flow regulators and the flow meters are used. The main intention, the main use is to deliver the gas with uniform pressure and flow rate. That is the main important. That is the main aim behind the use of the regulators as well as the different types of the flow meters. To deliver, to pass the gas with uniform pressure and flow rate. So different types of the flow meters are used. For example, rotameter as well as soap bubble flow meters. Rotameters and soap bubble flow meters. So rotameter is just placed before the column inlet. Obviously, rotameters placed before the column inlet means before the introduction of the carrier gas for the further analysis, further system. So place before the column inlet, it has a glass tube with a float held onto a spring. Okay, right now here we don't even, it is not helpful, useful for us to know the exact mechanism of how the carrier gas get control, how the rotameters, how the soap bubble flow meters works. But it is important here that there are certain devices are incorporated in the instrumentation part of gas chromatography. These accessories, these parts controls the flow rate of, just a minute. So different types of the flow meters use, placed before the column inlet. So various types, the devices and their mechanism is involved while controlling, while regulating the flow of the carrier gas and even the measurement of the flow of carrier gas. So first one is injection. Injection devices. That is one of the most important device incorporated after the flow controllers and flow meters, that is of injection devices. How to inject the sample into the column. So various injection devices are also available. Some of them, as you are observing on the screen, that is syringe. syringeless injectors. With the help of the injector or injection port, we can introduce the sample, volatile samples, in the flow of carrier gas. So gases can be introduced into the column by its valve devices. There are certain arrangement that while loading the sample into the carrier gas, you need to use some valves. So just to avoid the backflow of any material. So as you are introducing the sample, at the same time, you need to use some valves so that the material should not be get backflow. So liquids can be injected through the loop or septum devices. There are certain, again, some sample loops. It is known as the sample loops. Sample loops, I will show the design of sample loops. While loading, the other flow of the carrier gas or any type of material is get inhibited. So the arrangement of the sample loops are, or the walls are in such a way that if you are injecting the sample, the other flow of the material is get inhibited. So liquids can be injected through the loops or some walls through the septum devices. The next part, very important device, that is column, where the actual separation takes place. So important device used incorporated in gas chromatography is nothing but the column used in GC. So columns generally made up with the glass material or stainless steel. Columns are made up of glass or stainless steel material, inert. It should be again inert, highly fragile in nature. So the columns, these are divided, classified into two types depending upon their use. Even in HPLC also, even in column chromatography, even in gas chromatography, columns are useful for the two main purposes. One is what type of the analysis you are going to conduct. That is qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis. Qualitative or quantitative. So depending upon the use, analytical column, it is also known as analytical column or preparative column. In analytical column, the qualitative analysis is performed, while in preparative column, the quantitative analysis is performed. You can use both the words. Analytical column useful for qualitative analysis, preparative column useful for quantitative analysis. So depending upon the use, the dimensions of the columns are required. For analytical column, for qualitative purpose, again, one can use column with a very less length as well as the diameter. Say for example, 1 to 1.5 meter length and 3 to 6 millimeter of diameter. So again, this is the proportion. There should be a proper proportion of width to height. And for preparative column, obviously it is for quantitative. So we need to use the large size column for quantitative analysis, for preparative column analysis. Even the preparative word is used in case of thin layer chromatography. Preparative TLC. Preparative TLC is useful for quantitative analysis, where the surface area or the size of the thin layer plate is large. In the same way, here in preparative column chromatography or GC, the quantitative analysis, for quantitative analysis, the size of the column is large one as compared to the analytical column or qualitative analysis. So these columns are classified depending upon the use, that is analytical or preparative one. The next term involved here, that is a pack column. Different designs of the columns are also used. Now, just now, we discuss regarding the type of the columns. Types, depending upon the use, the types of the columns are analytical or preparative. What type of the work is intended? In the same way, next part is involved, that is the designing of the column. How you are going to fill the column, how you are going to prepare the column, as you are observed, as we discuss in the chapter of column chromatography, that the column designing, column preparation is by of two ways. One is dry column packing, second one is the wet packing. In dry packing, simply fill the column with some adsorbents, and in wet packing, fill the column first with solvent with mobile phase and then add adsorbent. This is the wet packing. So what about the design? What about the packing material used in the column? So depending upon the nature, again, depending upon the design, these column packings, preparation, these are again classified as one is packed column. That is, the columns are available in a packed manner. So again, depends upon the stationary phase. Maybe GSC, gas solid chromatography, or GLC, gas liquid chromatography. So for solid chromatography, different types of the adsorbents are available. Even for liquid chromatography, say for example, polyethylene glycols, esters, some amides, hydrocarbons, polysiloxanes materials are used for the preparation of